Hi, this is Jonathan Rosenhead, Jerusalem psychotherapist. This week's Torah and Psychology post for Parshas Vayeilech is going to discuss attachment theory. In this week's Parsha, we read that when the Bnei Yisrael go and serve other gods, this will anger Hashem, and He will remove His presence from Bnei Yisrael. There'll be hester panim. And at this time, when the Bnei Yisrael incur certain tragedies and hardships, they might wonder and they might say, is it because Hashem is no longer amongst us that we are suffering? They might question and explore the relationship that they have with Hashem, to try to understand what is their level of attachment to Hashem, what is the meaning of their relationship, why has Hashem left them at the moment, and what is the meaning of being left alone. And this links in psychology to the idea of attachment theory, because John Bowlby developed the idea of attachment theory and said that an infant needs to have an attachment with at least one caregiver in order for normal social and psychological development. And this was tested further by Mary Ainsworth in her experiment known as the strange situation procedure. And this follows a number of stages. At first, the child and the caregiver would enter together into a room. There'll be toys in the room, they'll be together, it will be a comfortable environment. And then a stranger will enter the room and will try to make an acquaintance with the child whilst the caregiver is there. Then the caregiver will leave the room, leaving the child with the stranger. And then the caregiver will come back. After this, both the caregiver and the stranger will leave the room, leaving the child alone. And then the stranger will come back into the room, try to comfort and try to, again, to talk with the child. And then finally, the caregiver will come back into the room and is instructed to pick up the child. And from these different stages, what Mary Ainsworth found was that from the result of the children's behavior, there are different attachment styles or patterns that a child will show. And this relates to the level of the relationship that they have with the caregiver. And this ranges in a spectrum from securely attached to insecurely attached. And I think as we consider now for Shabbos Shuvah, if we consider our relationship with Hashem, this can match on, is similar to the strange situation. At the beginning, the Bnei Yisrael and Hashem ideally are together, and it's a good relationship. And then a stranger might enter the room, other gods, as described in this week's Parsha. And then Hashem might leave temporarily, leaving us with these gods. But Hashem will come back. But then maybe again Hashem will leave, leaving us alone, even though there'll be no one to support us, no one to console us, and we will seek the comfort perhaps of other gods when other gods then come back into the room. And finally, Hashem will come back. Hashem will come back, will lift us up, pick us up, and to console us and to comfort us. But the difference is, and this is what we have to consider for Shabbos Shuvah, during the Aseret Yemei Teshuvah, the difference is that Hashem is always waiting on the other side of the door, waiting to come back in and to comfort us. But it behooves us to do teshuvah and to be the ones to open that door, to let Hashem back in. Have a great Shabbos, Gemach Siva Tova, keep well.